Right, welcome ladies and gents. I think we can officially call Disney's 100th year anniversary year a disaster, and everything they produced in that year pathetic and a disaster as well. Everything they produced and created to celebrate that year, a disaster. Unofficially, but officially, when you look at the numbers. So 2023, if you didn't know, was the 100th year of Disney. It was, that was their celebratory year. I know, it went out like a wet fart, didn't it? It just sort of slopped out there. Sorry for that image. But you get my drift. It was just, you wouldn't have really known about it. You wouldn't have really known about it unless you watched a Disney film and you saw the special 100th year, or if you were, subscribed to Disney Plus and you saw the 100th year. It was a non-event. But they did do some things and spend some money, which has now come back to absolutely bite them in the arse. So, a film, Wish, which is Disney, budget of $200 million, 200 plus if I remember rightly, 200 as a bare minimum, was released specifically to celebrate 100 years of Disney. I mean, everything about the movie, there were little nods to, sort of Easter eggs and nods to Disney animation and things like that. That's what it was. That's what it was about. And, conceptually wise, I can see why the concept of making a movie to sort of cap off 100 years and include some sort of Easter eggs and things like that, it's not a bad idea. The execution was lacking massively. It looked like drivel. But the concept, I can get on board with the concept. I'd have preferred it if they made an original movie and didn't do anything like that and just made something which was quintessentially Disney. Old Disney, not new Disney. If they did that, I think that's a better celebration. But this movie has completely failed. And this was quite literally the movie to celebrate 100 years of Disney. And it's absolutely bombed. Now, they're going to be pulling it out of theatres soon. It's only just crossed $220 million worldwide. Worldwide. There was a time when it would easily cross $100 million opening weekend, and it would go on to be $500 million plus. Now it's struggling. $220 million worldwide. Absolutely terrible. It really is terrible. For a product that, one, should have a huge audience anyway. It was released at a time when there should be a pretty big audience. And also as a product that is supposed to celebrate 100 years of Disney. I mean, it's a failure on every single level. It is a failure on every single level. So, let's take a look, shall we, guys? Hit subscribe, by the way, if you're new here and you enjoy videos like this and movie reviews and movie news. So, Disney's Wish fizzled out at the box office domestically. They do say it's performing admirably on the international front. It kind of is, but not massively. So, it added $8.6 million from the North American territories, bringing its international tally to $160.4 million. Which, internationally, it's doing okay. It's still not great, but it's doing okay. Now, domestically, so US, Canada, only $63 million. That's abysmal. That is woeful. Bearing in mind, of course, that's where they will be, making the bulk of their cash. So not every market, no market is equal. The distributors, theatres, the cuts that they take in different markets are, they're not the same. So the domestic market is where a movie studio will earn the most money because they can get the better deal, because they're, generally speaking, distributing it direct to the theatres. So the theatre cut versus studio cut, and then obviously distributor cut, is a better level. But when it's internationally, the cuts are not the same. They are different. They're not always in the favour of the studio. So the fact that this movie has made more money internationally is not actually good for Disney. Now, Disney has quite good distribution deals, of course, but this is still not great. And it's not great either because at $220 million worldwide, with a budget of $200 million, this movie is a huge disaster. I mean, it's lost money. Currently, it's looking like it's lost easily $200 million because it needs 400 plus to break even just on its production budget. Because if you're averaging, if you're being overly kind and you're saying, yeah, all markets are the same, it's a 50% split. Let's just say that, sure, whatever. Right? It needs over $200 million to break even. It needs $400 million to break even on its production budget. It has a marketing budget on top of that as well. So this movie has lost over $200 million. And it's supposed to be the celebration of 100 years of Disney. This movie is no word of a lie to Disney what Indy is to Lucasfilm. So Indy 5, Indiana Jones and the Dial of Decrepity, has lost astronomical numbers for Lucasfilm. This Wish film is exactly the same for Disney. Obviously they're the same company, overhead anyway, but it's super bad. Super bad. So they say this, it looks as though Wish won't have the same slow and steady box office progression as Elemental. And to that end, the studio has already announced plans for when Wish will arrive on home media. Because they're like, yeah, this is dead. And also, it's costing them more money. Because the longer it stays in theatres, the more money they make. So the split changes week on, week out. Basically. It changes week on, week out. So the studio is pulling it from theatres because they're getting less and less return. Even though it's still making money, they're getting less of a return on it. Disaster. Disney's Wish is performing much better internationally, where it has amassed 160 million so far, compared to just 63 million domestic. And that's the reason why, ladies and gents, the opening weekend is so important for a movie studio and for a movie. So, yeah, they're screwed. But anyway, I thought this was funny. I thought this was a very interesting video to make. And hopefully it explains a little bit more about the breakdown, distributor, theatrical fees, how it changes as the film stays in a theatre for longer. They get diminishing returns. Hopefully that makes a lot more sense. So anyway, love to hear your thoughts. Drop them down below. Hope you're having a great day. Take care. Bye now.